real reason why the two eldest daughters ran away from Shari, Franke, and apparently Ruby's two eldest daughters are now in CPS custody. But what happened? Why did they run away? I think I know the answers as to what's going on. Guys, make sure and click the plus sign. I'm going to have more on this you don't want to miss. Sound up in the comments and tell me what you think. But also, guys, I want to give a big shout out to Renee. I'm going to have her in the comments. Go follow her. She's got a TikTok channel that has so much good content on that, and she has been so helpful to me. Please go follow, link in the description. If you've been following my videos, and if you haven't, go check them out. You need to see what's going on. Apparently, the rumor is now that all 4 children are within CPS custody. However, we knew that those 2 eldest daughters were with Shari. So what happened? Well, apparently there was a live stream where the police officer said they removed those girls. They had a call. They said Shari called and said she can't control them. She can't control their behaviors. And I guess they had been running away a lot. So the officers came along with CPS workers and removed those 2 girls. But what happened? Now, none of this has been confirmed yet. So the person who put this out has not provided police reports. We don't actually have any evidence. And they're saying it's because they're trying to protect their source. They're protecting this police officer because maybe they weren't really allowed to say anything. And that's fair. But if this is true, I have some thoughts on this because people could be thinking, Shari's a good person. Why would they run away from her? What's going on? Is the abuse systemic within the family? Here are my thoughts. First of all, Shari is, I believe, 20 years old. This poor girl, I was barely a person at 20 years old. And I say that with love to my younger self and to anybody else who is young. And I can't imagine having to jump in and being a parent at that age. And I bet she's doing the absolute best that she can on top of going to school and on top of dealing with the stress of everything. Now, you would say, well, she parented her other siblings. Well, yeah, but that's different between helping out and having to be a parent because Ruby won't, and then all of a sudden becoming a full-time parent to these traumatized young girls is very different. Now, why would they be misbehaving and why would they be running away? So something you have to think about. Ruby's girls, on some level, even though abuse was going on, they also kind of had ultimate freedom. But ultimate freedom isn't necessarily a good thing. You've seen the memes and I've heard stuff where it's like, oh, you're so happy to not be dating your girlfriend and now you're free. You're free to go do whatever. But then what is freedom? Freedom is being alone at night and being lonely, right? We've seen stuff like that. And so here's what I want to say is that we know those girls would be left alone for days, weeks at a time by themselves while Ruby is hours and hours away taking vacations, doing trips. They were used to being on their own, pretty much doing what they wanted and having that freedom. I think it might be a really hard transition going to Shari where they can't have all of that freedom. They can't do all of that. And really the freedom, is it freedom when you have nobody to help you? You have no parent there, nobody has your back, which in my opinion is what was happening. So I think Shari, if everything is true that's coming out, has done her best to try to parent these girls or be some sort of mother figure in the best way she could, but she's dealing with kind of, these are feral children at this point. And when I say feral, I mean like or maybe feral isn't the word, sorry, free range, where they come and go as they please and they do what they want and they don't have anybody to answer to. Here's the weird part though. You have that dichotomy, but you also have Ruby being abusive when she's there. So they might actually have issues with people who are authority figures, because remember, they are now teenagers and teenagers get defiant. Teenagers start to push back. And maybe Shari just wasn't able to handle their behaviors and maybe they're just so used to being feral that they don't know what to do. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's my assessment. And part of why I'm saying this is to defend this one, because I can already hear and see the comments from people that, you know, she's not doing a good job. I think she's done an outstanding job, and I think she's an outstanding person for what she's had to go through and what she's advocating for. And if those kids are gone, I don't necessarily think it's her fault. She's been put in an unfair situation. This may be also why she's reconciled with Kevin, because she recognizes that this is not a situation she knows how to handle. But is Kevin the right person for this? I don't know. What do you guys think about my assessment? Tell me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments and click the plus sign. I've got more coming.